Liberty National starts off with a short par 4 that works from left to right. You immediately see the links influence with the link-style creek or burn meandering down the right side of the fairway and crossing over before the green. Most players will try to thread it down the fairway on the left, avoiding the creek. But some of the big hitters might try to fly the creek towards the green, which is small and shallow and guarded by 2 bunkers on the front left side. The view from the second tee provides the first glimpse of the Statue of Liberty over the left side of the green. But try not to get too caught up in the breathtaking view, as this is no easy hole, playing as the second longest par 3 on the course. The green is framed by a large bunker that wraps around on the left, and then a bunker in back, and a small one to the right as well. Even though number 3 works away from the bay, it's still a spectacular hole, with a generous landing area off the tee up until the point where a notch from the long ridge on the left pokes into the fairway. As for the green, it's not guarded by any bunkers or water, but it does have a series of slopes and grass hollows that provide fitting subtleties for the various hole locations on a complex but tiny green. The fourth hole offers quite a different view as it changes from links to a beautiful parkland hole, playing across a large pond with a striking feature in the background different than anything in golf, the Manhattan skyline. The green is small and somewhat curved, sitting hard by the pond with 3 bunkers, one front left, one back left, and another well short and right of the green. Number 5 is a par 4 that wraps around the lake on the left side. There is water all the way up the left as a stream cascades out of the lake and continues up past the green. The green is open in front, but is protected by the stream on the left and a bunker on the right. Except for a fall-off on the back right, most of the slope on the green runs from right to left towards the stream. The 6th hole is the first par 5 at Liberty National and has trees lining both sides of the wide tee shot landing area and a bunker resting in the right side of the opening. This hole is reachable for the big hitters, although the approach shot will not be easy. The putting surface is angled towards the back right with a small opening in front and 2 bunkers guarding it, one in the front left and a small pot bunker on the right. But the main danger is obviously the lake on the right, especially as the fairway running up to the green slopes towards it. The tee shot at this long par 4 plays back along the lake by the 6th green into a wide valley. The fairway winds between numerous bunkers and invites a tee ball working from left to right. The long, narrow green, one of the largest, sits at a bit of an angle and has a fingered bunker that runs almost the entire length of the green on the right front collar. As with the tee shot, the best ball to hit into this green is one that is shaped from left to right, especially if you want to hit it close. The par 5 8th is the longest hole on the course, playing over 600 yards from the farthest tee and turning gently to the right. The tee shot plays to a fairway with a few bunkers on either side, and then more bunkers continuing down the left side near the layup area closer to the green. The green is pretty narrow and is one of the most complex on the course, with a raised table in the front and a flowing break in the middle of the green. It's also surrounded by bunkers of different sizes and shapes on nearly all sides. The front 9 ends with a par 4 and a tee shot that is lined by trees all down the right side, and another lake sits on the left, fed by a small stream that actually crosses the fairway and can be in play for longer hitters. The putting surface is the largest on the course and has the most slope. The back of the green is fairly simple, but the right front is a section of nearly flat surface which is raised above the left front. Approaches that do not reach the flat section will roll painfully to the left. The back begins with a short par 5 that doglegs from left to right. The tee shot is heavily treed on the right, and the willows remind the player of the lake on the distant left. Most players will have a chance to reach this long and narrow green in 2 shots. 3 surrounding bunkers frame the green, and the green itself is tricky with subtle breaks throughout it. The depth of the greenside bunkers and the rolls on the putting surface will for sure influence the player's strategy on this hole. Number 11 is the longest par 3 on the property from the back tees and has a long bunker that separates the green from the lake on the left. The putting surface sits at an angle, short right to long back left, with a large section of fairway on the right side of the green. The tee shot at the 12th plays slightly downhill and has two fairways littered with bunkers in between. Hole location could dictate which fairway to hit in order to give yourself the best angle for the approach. It's almost a triangle-shaped green, with everything feeding towards the middle and large bunkers guarding it on the left and front right, and a small bunker directly behind. The 13th is a par 5 with a tee shot that presents a straightforward challenge. A series of bunkers on the right side might be carried, but depending on the tees, the distance is right on the cusp of what most can do. If you can carry the bunkers, then you might have a chance to reach in too, but if not, it'll be nearly impossible to find the putting surface in under regulation. The obvious trouble is the lake on the left, and there's also a bunker protecting the far left in front of the green. Number 14 is a short but challenging par 3 with a seawall stretching along the right side of the hole from tee to green. A large bunker lies between the wall and the putting surface, as well as a deep pot bunker on the left front collar. The green angles away toward the Manhattan City skyline, which is in full view off to the right. The 15th moves inland and is a long right-to-left dogleg par 4, where some of the bigger hitters can cut the corner over the bunkers at the elbow, down the left side. A single, huge bunker runs along the left side at the green, beginning short of the green and extending to about midpoint of the putting surface. The most difficult pin area is back left, but the front of the green is open. 16 is a drivable short par 4 for some of the longest of hitters. There is a small creek along the right side of the green that cascades into a pond in front of and beside the tees. To reach the green from the tee, you'll have to carry the ball over the falls and not let it leak into the creek. Depending on the wind, this might be a tall order, but the adventuresome will surely give it a try. On most courses, coming home is just one hole. At Liberty, it is two. The tee shot at 17 is almost directly at Lady Liberty in the distance. The landing area has 6 bunkers and 2 more along the left side of the second leg. 2 more guard the front right of the green. The green is large enough and it has a few breaks and a particularly treacherous back right hole location. Liberty National wraps up with a long par 5 that works its way slightly to the right towards a dazzling contemporary masterpiece of a clubhouse and the 3 towers, buildings to be considered more art than structure. The landing area off the tee is lined by bunkers and water on the right, and a couple of bunkers on the left as well. The green is elevated, with a small opening in the front left and bunkers protecting the left, front right, and back right. And at just an angle to the back right of the green is the complexity and emotion of arguably the greatest city in the world.